before, it's stupid to bring him to the finish with them.
Looks as though Oyer Lascano's adventure might be about to come to an end. He looks behind and he can see them. It's his compatriot, not just in a Spanish sense, but also from the Basque Country, Pello Bilbao.
Oh, and he really gave it his all. He can't stay in the group anymore.
Well, good effort. A big effort from a big-hearted rider. That hurts. A lot of looking around here, and this is playing straight into Gaal's hands, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And now there's the move. It's Romain Bardet again. Gaal, by the way, who's gone back into the virtual lead of the race with that time gap. Just though De Bruyckx will try and follow him. And still nothing from Skelmoser.
No, Skelmoser is waiting till later, I think. He's just hoping that the others will do the work and that he can just wait for the final. And I think he also knows when Felix Gaal gets back in the GC, Skelmoser has a better TT, so he doesn't really have to be afraid for Felix Gaal.
So Kian De Bruyckx off in search. There's Wilco Kelderman. Evenepoel and Uran surviving in the group this time. In fact, they were at the front of that group chasing. But it's Romain Bardet who's the main follower now. Looking much better than yesterday anyway. Much better feelings. Conditions good.
And it's so strange, Evenepoel again in the chase. I also think Skelmoser should actually do something, but they are just accepting that he's not doing anything.
Monique just trying to come across for Lotto Destiny. Skelmoser it is who closes the gap. This now is Schachmann who's struggling out the back. We pan and turn our attention to Harold Tejada. Getting to a little bit of a rest now on this climb before it kicks up again.
And Bardet having a pretty good gap actually now.
Romain Bardet, who last year got back to winning ways in stage racing terms for the first time since 2013. GC at the Tour of the Alps last year for him. Felix Gaal, the lone leader. Still 7 kilometres to go. And his gap is as big as it's been. Certainly to the yellow jersey. 1 minute and 17 seconds. If we were to stop the race right here, he'd win the stage and he would be the new leader of the race. And now Kelderman goes from Group 3. In Group 2, by the way, is a man on his own, Romain Bardet. Bardet around 20 seconds in front of this group. And now Evenepoel.
And Evenepoel attacks. It's so funny because he was struggling so much. And it was not a game he was playing. He was really struggling. And maybe he was thinking, just taking his own pace. Not wanting to react on every attack. But
it's just those steep gradients perhaps that just did not suit him, don't suit him. He doesn't like them or just doesn't have the condition for them of obviously coming back from COVID. We'll find out. But he's certainly racing like a warrior out there today. Coming back several times and now taking it to the rest of them as they come through Albinen. And Bardet's gap down to 16 seconds in front of the yellow jersey group. He's at 1 minute and 1 from this man. The rest period is out the way now for Felix Gaal. He's climbing again. But it's not climbing all the way to the line, remember.
no, it's for 3 kilometers, it's uphill now. Then you have again a 2 kilometer downhill, and then there is 1 more K going uphill.
With Bardet in the chase. Frenchman for Team DSM. Soon to be DSM Firmenich, I think.
Yes, the new jersey is already there. But they will start with it in the Tour de France, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, when it's going uphill, Felix Gall is the strongest man, I think. When it's going downhill, he loses a bit of time. And now in the uphill also a little bit, but it looks like, to me, that when it's going uphill, Felix Gall is just the strongest today. He's not giving a lot of time back.
He's actually gaining on the yellow jersey all the time.
Yeah.
He's now 122 in front.
But they're also looking to each other in the group of... but there's one guy...
Kelderman.
He's in front now. They're looking to each other in the group of favorites. They're not working together, they're looking to each other. And it's actually also a little strange, I think, that Skjelmose is not taking the lead in keeping the speed up here. Because he's just giving away his yellow jersey now. And he should not be afraid. He should just put the speed up. He was really strong yesterday. And he should be confident enough to take the lead here.
Schachmann now goes. And there is Skjelmose. We just saw Evenepoel have a go. He just sits on the back now. It looks as though Skjelmose and Evenepoel sort of looked at each other for too long. Almost a minute and a half now. In fact, it goes beyond a minute and a half.
It's crazy, but I actually do think that all the favorites in his group are pretty annoyed with Skjelmose at this moment, because they know he is the guy to do it. He has to keep the tempo up.
Be really interesting listening to the declarations overnight then. And again, you mentioned it earlier on, perhaps Skjelmose isn't too worried about Felix Gall in terms of the time trial towards the end of the week, but he can't afford to give away too much time here.
No. He should keep the gap as small as possible. He should not be afraid too much. But at this moment, it's only 5k to the finish. Just keep the tempo up and keep the gap as small as possible. You never know what happens. Maybe tomorrow he takes even more time, and then he's a threat in the TT.
Felix Gall closing in on a first career win. So close yesterday. Today should be the day. Now Harold Tejada will have a go. Everybody's thinking that it's their chance in this group now. And that's the first time that Skjelmose perhaps right at the front here that we've seen. But again, it's
not for long.
Have a little turn, have a look around. Kelderman is on his way up towards Wilco, or towards himself, towards Romain Bardet.
But also they're losing time on Felix Gall, because they had 1 minute at the start of this climb, and now it's already 1 minute and 11 seconds.
Well, Bardet's going to have company. I think Bardet will be pretty happy with this. They can work together if they can. The minute, they're standing to gain around 20 seconds on the rest of the GC group, which would be probably a good day for them, you'd think. Very windy up here as well, as you can see.
Yeah, and when it's windy, it's of course it's nice to have somebody with you to work together instead of being alone here. There's
now
a 2K downhill coming
back.
up.
Skjelmose is back at the front with Evenepoel. He's trying to get them organised, trying to get them sharing the work. And they can see Pello Bilbao up ahead, who's also stolen a march on them.
And it's funny that Evenepoel is doing the work, because he is second in GC. Normally you should think, let the GC leader do the work and you just have to sit in the wheel. But he's taking the lead there, doing the work in the group.
It's been a tactically confusing race to watch today, but certainly an enjoyable one.
It is, yeah, and I think it's also a bit confusing because everybody just wants to train. It's not only this race, they're also going into next races where they want to be good. And also maybe because Skjelmose is not maybe the top favorite of this race. He is the GC leader now, but he wasn't the favorite before this race.
Felix Gall with the day of his life. Now just 4 kilometres from glory. As Pello Bilbao can see Bardet and Kelderman in the distance.
One by one, they're leaving the group of favorites to go to work together with a smaller group.
Well, that gap as well, you're back to the yellow jerseys, not changed. Felix Gall's still got a minute and a half, and if he were to come through and win this, take the bonus seconds now, he'd be leading by over 30 seconds from Matthias Skjelmose.
And it doesn't look like anything will happen. It will change. Evenepoel is doing the work, but they're not getting any closer now.
Well, look at the company of those behind, the big names. This is some ride by Felix Gall. This is the day he's arrived on the scene. The day he's going to record his name in the record books as a likely World Tour stage winner, as a winner of a professional bike race for the first time in his career. And look at this, Bilbao. You've got Balde, who's been on podiums. He's been up there. You've got the world champion in here. It's a mighty fine performance, this, from Gall, who's over the final climb of the day. He's got a little bit of a descent and then a kick up to the line. The only things that separate him now from a stage win that should be his. 1 minute and 9 seconds to the next chasers. 1.5 minutes to the yellow jersey group. And Gall is just a few efforts now away from glory.
There's only a 2k downhill and a 1k uphill to go for him. Nothing too difficult. But of course he's dying because he's been in the lead for such a long time now. He left the group at 22 kilometers to go to the finish. He's been for almost 20 kilometers out now.
It was an interesting planned attack, wasn't it? I mean, we were talking about the strange tactics. That was a tremendous tactical bit of play because Cherel was there to set it up. Maybe not long before he would have been burned off anyway with the accelerations. You had the Wulff in a position to help a little bit as well. Really well played from AG2R Citroën today. Almost half a minute, almost 1.5 minutes behind. You've got this group of riders now coming up to the top of the penultimate climb. Balde is going to go over the top once more. Just trying to snap that elastic that was being repaired. He's been aggressive today. He's been good to watch as Romain Balde today.
And it's interesting to see these groups coming back together, but the time differences are not really reliable. And it's interesting for the yellow jersey actually, because it's getting close if it's really 1 minute and 15 seconds.
Remember, 1 minute and 7 seconds was the gap back from Matthias Skjelmose, leader of the race, to Felix Gall, who was in 9th place at the start of the day, but who finished second to Skjelmose yesterday. 1 more kilometre to descend then, and then a kick up to the line from Felix Gall. Man from Nussdorf-Debant in Austria. 25 years of age. The last time he won a race, he was an amateur still. It was the Istrian Spring Trophy 4 years ago.
That's crazy. This is going to be a huge win for him.
He's since become professional. Raced through that strange 2020 as a neo-pro. Has moved teams and has really settled with the team from the French Alps. But it's across the border in the Swiss Alps that he's going to make his mark for the first time. Second yesterday at Villars-sur-Rollon. Had to settle for second the other week at the Mercantour in the Alpes-Maritimes. So many near misses. A second place too on the opening day of the Tour of the Alps. But today is his day. This is the one that will be marked down, the day to remember. Wednesday the 14th of June 2023. And after almost 4 hours of full gas racing. Remember, the first hour today ridden at 54 kilometers per hour. Up 2 first category climbs, a third cat in the middle, an attack from the peloton to catch the breakaway, and holding everybody off. The big names behind, the Evenepoels of this world, with Bilbao, race leader Skjelmose and company up there as well. Nobody has been able to get near Felix Gall. And it's just a few hundred meters now to ride before he tastes glory. Those behind are fighting out for small gaps as they come to the Flamme Rouge. 1 kilometre to go for Skjelmose. Will he be holding on to the yellow jersey? At the minute, the answer's no. But things could change. They look around at each other. They can't afford to wait too much because Gall is taking seconds. He's taking time. Skjelmose, who's played a risky game today trying to defend the yellow jersey. It looked clever at times. He still looks at Evenepoel. Throughout the course of the week, it might still be clever. There's 4 stages to go yet and a time trial. But for now, Felix Gall is riding away, and if they continue to look at each other like this, he's riding into the yellow jersey as well. Now Bardet makes yet another move, to which for now there is no response. Romain Bardet on his way to try and take time and some bonus seconds. Remember, 10, 6 and 4 for first, second and third. Bardet looking for those 6 seconds there and whatever he can get on this group. But we look up the road and wait for Felix Gall, and it's going to be his moment. Here he is. They cheer his name. He sees the finish line. One mighty effort, and after so many second places, today's the day for Felix Gall. A monumental performance. And start the clock now, because at the beginning of the day he was 1 minute and 7 seconds behind Matthias Skjelmose. Skjelmose in the yellow jersey here working things back. It's uphill to the line though, remember. Bardet looks like he's going to be caught, so the 6 seconds for the bonuses are back in play. And Skjelmose wants to try and ride his way back into yellow for another day. And now Evenepoel will launch, looking to take seconds back if he can, and he goes. And look at the pace. He's made a move there with 200 metres to go. Time ticks on as Evenepoel can see the line up there, looks to be taking back bonus seconds if he can, but Skjelmose is there as well. 50 metres now to go as they hit the approach to the finish line. It's Evenepoel who's over at 102, 103 there, that's close. We'll have to check whether it's 103 or 104 because 4 bonus seconds there have gone to Skjelmose. Remember, 10 bonus seconds at the start of the day went to Felix Gall. And I have a feeling that Felix Gall might have just about taken the yellow jersey by a second or two. Let's see. We'll have to wait. There's Harold Tejada, 1 minute and 37 seconds down.
Oh, and it's getting really close for the yellow jersey. It's because of the that sprint of Evenepoel that they get really close. But when I'm counting really quick in my head, I think Felix Gall will have the yellow jersey with 2 seconds, but I'm not so sure about it.
It's the bonus seconds that's messing with our equations here, of course. But yes, if he has it by a couple of seconds, no more. And if he does have it, by the way, I have to thank our colleague Kilian Kell, who's always on the money with the stats. He would be the first Austrian leader of the Tour de Suisse since our colleague Bernie Eisel back in 2005. So almost 20 years.
But one thing I don't understand is the tactics of Skjelmose. Because he was having a lot of energy still at the finish line. He could do a really hard sprint. I think he could just have rode way faster onto to the finish line and keep the gap to Felix Gall way closer or way smaller.
There is Felix Gall. He's the stage winner. We wait to find out whether he will be the new leader. The back of the cigarette packet maths tell us that he is by a couple of seconds. But of course, I won't trust myself on that. We'll have to wait to get the official confirmation.
And I guess the organization...
It's okay.
Mark Hirschi coming to the line. Swiss rider. Disappointing day for UAE Emirates with Juan Ayuso. Hirschi did his best to try to help out Ayuso as much as possible.
But did Ayuso already finish now?
You would imagine so.
You would imagine.
Seen everybody across the line.
Anyway, he's losing a lot of seconds. Minutes, I think.
There's the face of a happy first-time winner. Well, Evenepoel away from the podium suggests that he is not going to be in the white jersey today. Of course, that should still be Skjelmose. He's just being asked where he's from. A neighbouring land. Meantime, Ukrainian champion Ponomar making his way in.
And it's been a tough day. There's no groups coming in. It's all riders one by one.
A really, really difficult day. So Ponomar about to finish, and for Arker Samsic. So while we wait to get confirmation on the classifications, let's go and see what happens with Felix Gall. And Felix Gall coming across the line. Absolutely delighted with what happened there. Felix Gall winning by 1:02 from Evenepoel, 1:03 to Skjelmose. 10 bonus seconds, of course, for Gall, 4 to Skjelmose. By my money, Gall, I think, just about has the jersey by 2 seconds.
And he was smart. He was not celebrating before the line. He knew he was doing, of course, he needed important seconds for the GC. Just putting his arms in the air after crossing the line.
A sensational ride. The ride of his life for Felix Gall, who wins the stage and will be the first Austrian in almost 20 years to lead the Tour de Suisse.
And he surprisingly is looking fresh after the finish.
Oh, that's good news for him tomorrow, I guess. Because it's going to be quite some defence of the jersey on that stage. And there's confirmation that Gall is the new leader of the Tour de Suisse. 2 seconds ahead of Skjelmose, 16 in front of Evenepoel, with Bilbao and Kelderman in the top 5. Felix Gall taking the stage and the yellow jersey. Well, a big redesign of the general classification there. 2-second lead. Of course, Skjelmose and Evenepoel won't be too disappointed when they look at that, given what's to come still. Time trial included as well. Interesting, Evenepoel showed that there was plenty of fight there today, if not at his best condition.
Yeah, he had actually a really big fighting spirit. He knows he's not in top shape, but he did a really good job, and he's still there in GC. Not losing any time to Skjelmose, of course. And Felix Gall was already far behind, so he's just getting back in the GC.
Super ride there from Sylvain Monique as well. Belgian. For Lotto Destiny.
Leute, Kohlgeleisten, keine Schikane, sondern ganz, ganz wichtig, die Tour de Suisse als sicheren Sportgewinn auf zu bringen.
So we wait to get some reaction from Felix Gall. And in the meantime, while we do, let's have a look at how it unfolded today. Start was given in Monté, in the valley. Riders climbed to Crans-Montana. This time there was no stage finish like there had been at the Giro d'Italia. Head of the race, 11 riders, including Gino Meda, who got across and made it very difficult for those in the breakaway to be allowed to go and take the stage win. No changes in that black jersey competition, really. Still the domain of Wout van Aert. King of the Mountains, there was a change. Lilian Calmejane going to take it, despite the challenges from Pascal Eenkhoorn. The Tissot kilometre belonged to Stan de Wulf. De Wulf getting out there, taking the first sprint, sitting back in, and making sure he was strongest on the second sprint. Once we hit the climb, though, things changed. The final classified climb of the day to Dorben was ridiculously hard. Calmejane out the front. He'd soon be caught, though. And then action started to kick off behind as well. Felix Gall making his way from the peloton to the front of the race. And soon dropping behind those who are with him. Nobody else would see him again. The last 18 kilometres all alone, after attacking with 22 kilometres to go. There were groups with riders dropped, getting back on. Nobody could quite sort themselves out in this group, though. And all the while, Felix Gall rode away and actually extended his advantage. Romain Bardet not having his own day at times, but he would try and continue to try. So will Bilbao and Kelderman, as would Felix Gall. Victorious for the first time in his career. Second Austrian to win a race this season after Gregor Mühlberger. First Austrian to lead this race in almost 20 years. Behind Remco Evenepoel took the second place in the 6 bonus seconds. In doing so, taking 2 seconds back on Matthias Skjelmose, but Skjelmose himself losing the jersey. He'll go from wearing yellow to white for stage 5 tomorrow. That's because he's lost the lead by 2 single seconds. And in Leukerbad, it's Felix Gall who takes victory. That is the Gemmi Pass. One of many high altitude passes up here. We'll be seeing a few of those tomorrow. When we come with you on the television, we'll certainly be having a good look at the Albula Pass. But almost 2,400 meters above sea level.
Felix Gall, what an incredible ride. The biggest win in your career. Could you enjoy the last kilometer or did you suffer too much?
Yeah, I'm still a little bit overwhelmed with the situation. I don't really know what to think. I still cannot really believe it. The first professional victory at the Tour de Suisse and also now the leader's jersey. And I mean, yesterday I felt super good. I think I'm in the shape of my life. So we said already today in the morning, if I feel the same today on the last climb, I have to give it a try. Because if we want to get a nice result, we just I didn't really thought it would be possible because it was still a long way to the finish line. But yeah, I have to give it a try. If I have the best legs in my life, then I'm not going to wait in the bunch and yeah, look at the others.
Tomorrow there's another mountain stage. Will you attack again, or first of all defend the jersey?
But I hope I can enjoy all of this. We will see what's possible tomorrow. It's a little bit of a different stage. It's longer climbs and also in altitude. We will see how that suits me. It's a little bit of a new experience for me. It's the first time that I'm able to race on this level, and then also the TT is not exactly my strength at the moment. So if I want to get a nice result in GC, I think I also have to do a good race tomorrow and maybe again try to gain some time. But for now, I'm happy with the win today.
Now all eyes are on you.
Yeah, like I said, I feel really good, and I hope I can continue like this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, no shortage of confidence there, but obviously a little bit of realism, knowing, as you've been pointing out all day, that he needs more time if he wants a good GC result here.
Yes, if he wants to contain his lead in the GC till the end, he needs more time. Just 17 seconds, or I think 19, I don't know for sure, on Remco Evenepoel won't be enough. But what he said, like, it's the best day of his life. He did something incredible job today, and he should just enjoy today first and see if he can do something tomorrow again.
Well, Felix Gall, who, by the way, also just about qualifies for the Young Rider competition, so it'll be he wearing white. So let's get some reaction from
There's a feeling
Skiermoser.
when you have seen Felix attacking 18 Ks to go. What was going on in your mind at this moment?
That I hope he took the leader's jersey, with me losing minimum amount, not being in the jersey, and that was what happened. So they successful.
Tell us a bit how you managed your climb then after that.
No, I just control. We didn't have the team to put a good tempo, and I think we got the maximum out of the team. And luckily for me, other guys wanted to take control, and I could follow the most and only use minimum amount of power.
So it was the plan to lose the yellow jersey today?
I mean, not at any cost, but it was not because I wanted to kill myself just to get it. Albola tomorrow is much more important and can make a lot bigger differences than today. And we wanted to lose the jersey to a guy who I believed I could beat in the TT. Let's see, Felix looks strong, but I still believe I have a better time trial.
So who were your main opponents finally in this Tour de Suisse?
I don't know. I thought it would be Ayuso and Remco. Remco is still up there, and even though he maybe drops sometimes, I know he's a smart rider, and he also did some strong pulls today. So I would say Remco. And I mean, the thing Felix did today, we went easy behind, so chapeau to him. Hopefully he used a match more than me.
And how did you feel today after the effort of yesterday? Were the legs hurting a bit?
Yeah, I felt a little bit, not as much as I thought I would, which I think is a good sign, but still I felt my legs, but I think that's normal after a good hard day yesterday.
Thank you very much.
Very interesting indeed. So the plan all along was, if they could, give the jersey away. And if that was the plan, and he thinks he can beat Felix Gall, 2 seconds, I say that's the plan. No, it was perfectly executed, wasn't it?
I think Felix Gall was in that plan maybe because he did exactly what they wanted then. It sounds a bit like a strange plan to me though. It's just a 1 week race. Why do you want to give the jersey away? And Felix Gall is a really dangerous rider. You don't want him closer in the GC, right? Giving him a little bit, I understand, but more than a minute, it's a lot.
Yeah, and also giving the bonus seconds away there to Remco Evenepoel, or at least having him in there. Yeah, well, we'll have to see. I mean, we'll see if it works out. For now, though, all the applause and the congratulation go to this man. Felix Gall, who we should be seeing on the podium 3 times. Stage winner. He'll be the yellow jersey, he'll be the white jersey as well. And tomorrow, it should be Matthias Skiermoser who's wearing that jersey on his behalf. fact, there's a split there between Evenepoel and Skelmose as well, so it's another single second given away. So 3 seconds given away in total to Remco Evenepoel by Matthias Skelmose. Gruppetto on the way in, sorry.
Evenepoel saved his stage really good in the end because he dropped, of course, in the beginning of the climb. We were thinking he might lose minutes today, but in the end he won a few seconds on Skelmose.
Yeah, a good day for Remco Evenepoel in the end, considering how he was racing before.
And that's also a little strange from the interview with Skelmose, I think. Of course, giving the jersey to Felix Gall is not so dangerous because, of course, Skelmose has a better TT. But he could also gain time on Evenepoel because Evenepoel dropped a few times today. If Skelmose would continue a high speed, he said his legs did not hurt so much, he could have gained time on Remco Evenepoel. But I think the plan is to do that tomorrow. But why not today, if it's possible?
Well, tomorrow is a big day. Certainly, that part of his answer, there's no doubt at all in it. Tomorrow is the day, the Queen Stage, on paper at least, of the Tour de Suisse, as we see a 2-second lead for Felix Gall over Matthias Skelmose. General classification now is almost 5 minutes between first and 20th. They're just 4 stages in Switzerland.